Okay, today we're going to learn about two new features for formatting text. One is called Format Painter and the other is Styles. First we're going to talk about Format Painter. Format Painter is a very quick way. I'm going to give you a quick definition real quick right here. Format Painter is a quick way to copy formatting from one item to another. Now it does not copy the actual text, it just copies the formatting. So here's a quick example. We have here a phrase here called matching that I would maybe use in a test, and I want to copy it to short answer down here below. Now up here I have changed the font. I made it bolder, the font size I made it uppercase. I've changed the spacing of the letters. I've moved it into the margin by 1/3 of an inch. So there's 7 or 8 things that have changed on here, and if I wanted to do this by the old way, I'd have to remember all the different steps I did to make it the same. So very slow, time consuming. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the word matching. Up here in the very top corner on the far side of your home ribbon, you're going to click Format Painter, and you're just going to click anywhere on the phrase that you want to change, and it copies all the formatting from matching to short answer. I'm going to hit undo. I'm going to show you a couple other little options here. Now, also down here below, I have short answer, true, false, and essay. If you want to use this feature multiple times, you're going to go to Format Painter and double click, and then come down here to short answer, true, false, and it remembers that I'm still copying it, so I just keep clicking, and then I come back here to Format Painter and turn the feature off. So Format Painter is a quick way of just copying from one text to another, the formatting or the look, without having to copy all of or remember all the different settings. It is much, it's a time saver, but it also makes your documents more consistent because I know that these are exactly the same. I don't have to remember what features. Now the problem with Format Painter is it's mainly used for a one-time, one usage at a time. It's not used for long-term formatting. For example, if I want to use this feature or this formatting every time I create a test, you'd have to create it at least once before you can copy and paste it. So the other feature we're going to learn today is styles. And let me pull out the definition for that. It's very similar to Format Painter, but it does a little bit more. It is a predefined combination of fonts, colors, size of text, and many other different things that can be saved and applied, it should be and applied, at a later time. So if I want to use this format for chapter headings for the entire year, I would use styles instead. So let me hit undo on all of the, or let me just change these back to normal. And up here at the top, you can see where I'm changing the style. Almost half the ribbon is dedicated to styles from here to here. So it is a very helpful and important feature in Word. If you click down here, you can see some of the styles that come with Word, and you can see how it just changed all the... let's see what's going to change on me here. It's changed to style 1. It's not changing there. I'm not sure why. So here we're going to create our own style for matching and then apply it to multiple headings. So I'm going to highlight it. This time we're going to go down to Styles and save the selection as a new quick style. And by default, I'm going to call it test heading. Now we're going to come here and modify in a few minutes, but for now just hit OK. Modify gives you some other features. You hit OK, and now even if this were on page, let's say 19, I don't have to go back and find the first occurrence where I had this style. I just click up here and I find my test heading and I click it and it changes. Maybe it's a new document. Maybe it's tomorrow I'm coming and editing my document again. I type my true false, I hit test heading, and it changes. So the difference is that it's saved. I don't have to go back and copy it. It just lists it as a style, and I can just select it anytime I need it. Now there's a couple of things to be aware of with styles. First of all, this is what confuses some people mostly. If I go to a new document, I'm just going to create a new document very quickly here. I'll notice that it's not there. I do not have my test heading. That's because by default, these styles are only saved in the document that they're created. But there's a way around that. When I create my style, and I'll just create another one here, save selection, I'll just leave this one style 3 for now, modify. Now there's a lot of other options here, but down at the bottom of the screen it says only in this document or new document based on this template. If I check that, then it will be in new documents that I create. It will not be in old documents. If I pull up a test from 3 weeks ago, this style will not be there. It's only in this document and in new documents. And that generally you have to decide whether you want that feature. If this is a style that you may want to use in other documents, put it in the new document. If I know that I'll never use it for another type of file, I'll leave it in this document. While we're here, let's go back and show you another very important feature here. Is we're going to deal with these two types of styles, paragraph or character. Paragraph will change the entire paragraph to that style, even if it's not selected. If you notice, when I click down here on short answer, I did not have to highlight it. It just changed the entire paragraph. Same for every time I use that style, because I was using a paragraph. Character would be for only changing individual words within a paragraph. Not quite as often, not as used as often as the paragraph. So I do want you to know two types of styles, paragraph and character. And then all the features of that style are listed here. You can create the style using traditional, changing the color and doing everything here and then saving it, or like we did, or you can actually make changes. For example, I can add italics and underline, which was not originally selected. Now that style will also have that. So it's a way of making more changes. Under Format, it gives you many options. In fact, it'll pull up the same screen here that you're used to using. So if there's another feature like superscript or strike through or an underline style, everything you need would be found under these menus if you don't see what you need up here. So for example, if I want to double space something, I'll click double, hit OK, and that's now part of my style. Another quick feature I want to show you here is this style based on, in this case, test heading. Let's say you want to create two styles, one that's just slightly different than the other. Instead of starting from scratch, the second style, in fact, let's say the style 3 is blue. My original was not blue. I'm going to base it on test heading. So everything that's in test heading is in this style, plus blue and underline and italics, the things I just turned on, and the double spacing. So these styles will be very similar, but style 3 has a few extra features that test heading does not, if that makes sense. Test heading was the basis for style 3. Let me show you another quick example of how this can be very, very powerful. I have here a document. This is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, and I have set up all the chapters to use a style called chapters, and all the text to use a style called text. Now, if I wanted to change the font for, let's say, all the text, I can't just hit Control A and select everything, because I would be changing my headings and my titles and everything else. So just by changing the text, and let's modify that. You right click on your style and hit modify. And let's say I don't want that style. Let's say I want to change it to 1.5 spacing, because I think it's too close together. So I just modify the text style, hit OK, and my entire document, maybe hundreds of pages, has now been changed. Same for chapters. Let's say I don't like this green color. You modify the green by picking, let's say, a blue, and now my entire document, let's find a chapter down here, is now blue instead of green. So you can see that it's going to be very powerful when you need to make changes to an entire document. Not to have to make changes each time to each chapter, to each section of text, but saving your styles and then reusing them. Just to summarize, one thing I left out here was on the Format Painter, is it works also with pictures. Just show you real quickly here. I click Format Painter. Going back to Format Painter, the first feature, click Format Painter and click here on my, try it again, Format Painter, and click on my other Canon picture here, and you can see it copies the borders, the colors, the rotation, and so forth. Meant to show you that it works both with pictures and with text. Down here, I just made a quick summary here of the two features, Format Painter. Format Painter is mainly for a quick one-time use. If you're just going to copy from here to here, but you're not planning on using it again, Format Painter is perfect. But because you can't save the formatting, that's the con, that's the drawback. Styles It does take a little bit more time to set up. You have to name it. You have to create go to a couple extra menus to get there. But it can be saved and it can be used over and over and over. That's the benefit of using styles. In short, there are two main benefits from using both these features. One, it is faster. You can make changes to a lot of text much faster and is more accurate. You don't have to worry about having chapters 3 and 4 a different shade of blue or a different line spacing, a different font than all of your other chapters. If you use a style, all of them will be exactly the same. So it's more consistent, it's more accurate to make changes. You know that this style, this appearance is exactly like this true false is. This and short answer is exactly the same because they're based on the same style. So two features that I would recommend using often: Format Painter for the occasional copying, and then Style is when you need to use it on a more regular basis.